Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel in a new card making video. Today I am making a light up shaker card featuring halo lights from Pear Blossom Press. This is a strawberry themed shaker card if you couldn't tell, and it has this die right here, the Magic Iris camera die, and one of the add-on pieces. So I die cut it from red cardstock as well as this cream cardstock, and I'm going to paper piece it together. And I do end up bringing in a piece of green, so it's going to really have three colors on it. But I'm just cutting away the top and the bottom so I can use that middle section, and I'm going to stamp on that with this very special stamp set from Fawn. This stamp set has some super cute strawberry images, and I really love strawberries, and so does my daughter, so I knew this is a stamp set I had to have. So now I'm just going to stamp this repeatedly onto this little piece of the camera, and then I am going to add in that plain strawberry as well, though single strawberry, and just kind of create my own background. And I love this look, and I think it's going to be a nice little accent piece on the camera. So for coloring these in, I'm using R27 Copic marker as my darkest color and R17 as my lightest, and just blending those two together. And then I'm using YG09 and 06. Why is that hard to say? I don't know. For the greenery. Next, I am bringing in Vintage Photo. This has to be my favorite distress ink color. I use it all the time for things like this, and I have a finger blending brush on my finger right there to do this ink blending. I'll link those for you below. I got them from Amazon. They're fabulous. Okay, so now I'm piecing the camera together using the green at the bottom and then that strawberry piece through the center. And I'm also doing some distress inking. Now there's some splatter on this. I'm going to show you in a bit how I did the splatter as well. And you'll see this really cool little accessory that I have to do that. It's so pretty. All right, so now I'm gluing all the parts of the camera together. So we have this little, probably the viewfinder piece, and this is the shutter, the button you push to open and close the shutter. I'm sure that has a technical name. Yeah, it's not coming to me. All right, so let's glue that down. And now I'm bringing in my halo lights. These come in a 2-pack, and they just snap right out of the casing that's around them, just like that. And it has the battery already in it. You just have to pull out the little slip of paper. So the paper's there so the battery doesn't contact the mechanism and wear down the battery in between the time it gets to you. Okay, I used this camera add-on die set to die cut this piece that kind of goes around the shutter of the camera. I glued it to a window sheet, and now I'm just dusting the edge with more of that Vintage Photo. I'm kind of going for a cottagecore vibe. I don't know if I'm achieving it, but that's what my daughter's style is, and it's just kind of outdoorsy and fairy-like and a little bit yeah, cottage. I'm at a loss for words, but I just like that kind of vintage grunginess on there. And now I have this interactive label set from My Favorite Things. This is available also at the Pear Blossom Press shop, and I put press on that button there, or the viewfinder. All right, look at this bling ring. Isn't it so cool? It's like a mirror glass, and you can wear it on your finger and squish your ink down on it and splatter it onto your project. I am loving it so much. All right, on to the back of my halo lights, I have that splattered piece of paper, and I went all around this with some double stick tape. Now this double stick tape is Heavy Doodle brand, and it comes in 2 widths. I'm going to use both on my card today, but it is the perfect width for your lights from Pear Blossom Press because it's the same thickness as the battery. So I'm going to have all of these things linked for you so you can be sure to and find them easily. All right, I removed the backing off of my double stick tape. I put some Strawberry Patch clay strawberries from Trinity Stamps inside my shaker, and once I had it all lined up, and I pressed it down really good and tested it out, and there I have my strawberry shaker with lights. I love it. All right, so I brought back that very special stamp set, and I stamped out all the images. I actually ended up stamping even more images. You'll see those come into play. But I wanted to show you a coloring of the few things. Now, the strawberries I colored exactly the same as the ones I did on the camera. And then I colored with the same color markers for my strawberry jam. Actually, no, I brought in R08 for that. Added some yellow to the flowers and my little bee. And the bee should have a black face. A lot of times the bees get colored with a yellow face. So I'm just showing you here the markers that I used for that, some warm grays, and then I decided to use the same warm grays to do my cute little mice. So I'm going to start with W6 as my darkest color. I'm putting that down first because these are such small images. I'm blending that out with W4, and then my lightest color will be W2. I have a little bit of pink in my R20 marker I'm putting on their ear. I felt like the pink was too light of a color for their tiny nose. So I did the W8 for that. And there you can see all the markers that I used. And here's all the pieces die cut out. They're so much cuter once you die cut them out. I don't know why, but they make me happy just seeing all the die cut pieces there. All right, I have this gingham paper also from Fawn. I'm going to dust up the edge of this as well because I'm just going for that look. And then I've got my ring, and you can see I dipped my little scraggly paintbrush in some water, and I can use that ring to flick the ink all over my background. All right, I have this grassy piece already die cut in my scraps, so I decided to put it down behind my camera. Now, most of the grass is not going to be able to be seen. So I'm just laying everything out where I want it to go, and then I'll go back and adhere everything into place. But this is kind of like in my planning process, I lay everything out. Now here you can see I've used a mix of the wide double stick tape and the narrow, but it's 5 millimeters thick, I believe. 3 millimeters thick, I believe. And it is thick enough for that battery. So that's why it went all the way around my camera too, because it's the same thickness as the foam tape I used on the back of the halo lights. All right, now for a sentiment, I am going to stamp down with some Versamark, or I think it's just clear embossing ink actually from Fawn. And it says, "You're totally my jam," and I'm embossing that with white powder. And I think it's just a really cute and fun sentiment that goes with my card so well. I'm going to snip off the ends of the strip with my scissors just at an angle and then glue it into place. I have so many things popped up, so I felt like this one was okay just to go ahead and glue down right like that. And then I attached my bead last because I wasn't sure exactly where my sentiment was going to go. And then I'm gluing this down onto a 6x6 card. So my gingham panel there is about 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now I'm going to create a little Polaroid picture, and this is what's going to go on the inside of my card. I'm going to do some free-handed grass here with my YG06 and YG09 markers, and I think it turned out pretty good. Like, I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing, but I really like how it came out. So it's kind of a fun way too to practice your flicks with your Copic markers is to do grass. And then for my sky, I am going to just kind of draw some cloud shapes with my blue marker. Actually, my B00 was a little bit dry, so I came back in with B000, I believe, but you can see I just kind of colored lightly and made some cloud-like shapes. I add pick your own little sign, the mouse holding the strawberries, and a little flower to finish off the scene. But it needed something at the top, so I brought in this little village stamp set and did this sun with a cloud, and then a couple birds flying in the sky, and that really helped kind of balance out the top. And I was worried coloring over some blue ink I might get kind of a greenish sun, but I didn't. My Y17 marker was dark enough, so it was perfect. All right, I'm gluing the top of this Polaroid piece to the back, which I just cut a piece small enough to go behind it with my paper cutter to make that Polaroid. Now I saved the little scrap from trimming down my pattern paper, and I am putting that across the bottom. So I have a little gingham from the outside repeated on the inside and then on with my Polaroid. So it's a huge inside of a card to have to fill up with, you know, writing something, and maybe you don't have a ton to say. So adding something on the inside helps take up a little bit of that space, right? All right, so now I'm bringing out my Pear Blossom Press gel pens. This white gel pen is my favorite. It just writes so much smoother than any gel pen I've used before, and I can do all those tiny little dots and the ink just comes out. It's so fabulous. So I have that linked for you below as well. Now my card is all done and ready to go, but I feel like my daughter has claimed this card already for herself, so that makes me feel like I did something right. And in the pictures here, you can see what it looks like in a little bit darker setting when you push that light, and you can see the halo lights light up that entire circle. So it's really, those halo lights are really good for circle things like this. On the picture in the packaging, they light up like a little fishbowl. It's so cute. All right, I thank you so much for stopping by and letting me share this creation with you. I'm excited I finally got to play with my little strawberry things from Fawn, and I will be back again soon with another video just for you, so stay tuned. Happy stamping! Bye!